Hi guys, today I come up with a question for our white men dating African ladies or foreign ladies from other continents.
To all of you ladies under my comment section telling me that, oh yes, you are married to a grandpa, your husband is grandpa. My sister, if I don't marry to a grandpa, who do you want me to get married to?
Are you absolutely kidding me? GOP governor, Republican governor of Indiana, is trying to walk back interracial marriage. Oh, wow.
You that you're doing the things the right way. You're doing the right things that you should do in Europe. See, let me tell you something. The reason why things are taking hard for you is because you're doing the right thing. I'm a fine woman, I'm a very beautiful woman. But honestly, instead of me marrying one Italian to get passport, I'd rather sleep under the bridge. If you married a white man for love, it's okay. But if you know you married a white man because he wanted to get documents and is using you, you don't have a say. Me, I'm a very proud girl. I'm so proud. I'm a very proud woman. You can't use me for nonsense. Never. You can't use me for nonsense. Never. So, it's taking you long enough because your own will be loud. Your own will be loud. Don't worry. Your own will be loud. I love you.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that, on the surface, might seem pretty straightforward. But as we start to peel back the layers, well, it reveals a really complex and honestly compelling story about love, society, and change.
Right.
We're talking about interracial marriage in today's world. Now, when I say today's world, it's kind of crucial to remember just how recent this all is in many ways.
Yeah, historically speaking.
Exactly. Think back to 1967. I mean, that's less than 60 years ago. That's when the landmark Loving v. Virginia Supreme Court decision finally struck down laws in, 16 U.S. states?
Yeah.
Laws that actually forbade people from different races marrying each other.
And carried serious penalties.
Yeah.
Prison time.
Prison time, that's
Yeah.
easily within living memory for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So you fast forward to now, 2025, and the whole landscape has, undeniably transformed. Interracial couples are way more visible, celebrated even. They're just part of the social fabric now.
Yeah, it's a huge shift.
It really shows incredible progress. But like with any big societal change, the full story, well, it usually has a bit more nuance, doesn't it?
It's an extraordinary historical arc, isn't it?
Right.
Going from being literally criminalized to, well, becoming increasingly normalized in just a couple of generations.
Yeah.
And you're spot on. While those legal barriers are gone and acceptance is definitely growing, the journey for these couples isn't always, completely smooth sailing.
Right.
They're often navigating this really rich mix of cultural differences, maybe managing family expectations. That can sometimes be tricky. And yeah, some still bump up against those subtle kind of lingering echoes of older prejudices.
Okay.
But what's really powerful, I think, is how these relationships themselves are actively shaping society. There are these amazing examples of personal resilience, blending traditions beautifully. And fundamentally, they are redefining what family even looks like in the 21st century.
That's interesting.
It really makes you think, what does this evolution mean? Not just for the couple, but for the whole cultural identity of a place.
That's exactly what we want to unpack in this deep dive. So beyond the headlines, beyond the census data, what are the dynamics today? What challenges are still there? And what, incredible joys come out of these unions?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So to really get where we are now, you have to appreciate the speed of this change. It's honestly kind of staggering when you think about how recently this all happened.
It really is.
Back in 1967, when Richard and Mildred Loving were fighting for their right to just be married, only 3% of marriages in the U.S. were interracial. Just 3%.
Wow.
And public opinion back then, overwhelmingly against it. It wasn't just a legal fight. It was pushing against these really deep-seated social norms.
That 3% figure is such a stark reminder, isn't it, of how entrenched those views were.
Yeah.
But what happened next was this really consistent, pretty powerful upward trend. By 1980, the percentage of interracial marriages had more than doubled. It was around 7%. So you see, this wasn't just some fleeting trend. It was a steady, fundamental shift happening.
Right, a real change in how people were forming families.
Exactly. And then by 2015, that number jumped all the way to 17%.
17.
Yeah. And the latest data suggests that now nearly 20%, almost 1 in 5 new marriages in the U.S. cross racial or ethnic lines.
1 in 5 new marriages. That's huge.
It is. But, this isn't just an American story either. If you look globally, with the rise of multicultural cities and Well, unprecedented levels of migration. It's created so many more opportunities for people from totally different backgrounds to connect, fall in love, build lives together. It's dissolving all boundaries all over the place.
The numbers definitely paint a picture of progress, a society becoming more open where love seems to be crossing these lines more and more.
For sure.
But digging a bit deeper, does that statistical acceptance, that nearly 20%, really mean seamless acceptance in everyday life? Like, where do couples still feel friction, even with these positive trends?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? The legal side, the numbers, they've shifted dramatically. But those deeply embedded social attitudes, they often take longer to catch up.
Yeah, makes sense.
So while maybe blatant, overt racism is less common, many interracial couples still have to navigate this unique set of pressures, often subtle stuff, things that exist just under the surface of daily life.
Right.
Not always big, dramatic fights, but more like a persistent undercurrent.
That's a really important point. It's not just about the love inside the relationship, but how that love interacts with the world outside.
Yeah.
And sometimes gets challenged by it.
Exactly.
So what specific kinds of pressures do the sources point to for these couples?
Well, one of the first hurdles often comes from family acceptance. Even today, for many couples, introducing a partner of a different race can sometimes be met with apprehension, or maybe even quiet disapproval from parents or the wider family.
Still, wow.
Yeah. And it's not always coming from a bad place, necessarily. Sometimes it stems from fears about losing culture or wanting grandkids who look a certain way, or maybe just an inability to shake off these deeply held, often unspoken biases. You can imagine the tension, right? Like a holiday dinner where one partner feels like they're constantly being subtly scrutinized, or maybe a future in-law voicing worries about how different the kids might be. It's a really personal challenge, right, when things should be celebratory.
Definitely adds a layer of stress.
For sure. Then there's the whole issue of microaggressions and bias, these persistent, often kind of insidious experiences.
Okay, what does that look like?
Well, what makes them insidious isn't just one single comment. It's the buildup. The cumulative effect. It's rarely, someone shouting a slur. It's more the quiet assumptions, the raised eyebrows, the insensitive questions.
Like what, for example?
Like a couple constantly being asked, so where are you really from? Or maybe someone asking the parent, is that your biological child? Or even getting comments about how exotic their relationship is. Each little thing on its own might seem small, maybe brush-offable, but over time, it creates this exhausting mental load.
Yeah, like a constant need to justify your relationship.
Exactly. Justify their existence, their connection to a world that still sometimes struggles to just see them as a couple without adding racial qualifiers.
It's interesting how those subtle things can actually be more wearing than something really obvious. It's that constant, quiet pressure.
Absolutely.
And I guess when kids come into the picture, that adds another whole dimension, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Identity in children become a really significant focus. Raising biracial or multiracial kids brings up some complex questions. Well, parents really grapple with how to celebrate and integrate all parts of their children's heritage. Which cultural traditions get emphasized? How do you prepare these kids for a world that might try to put them in just one box or question who they are?
Right.
Helping children embrace the full spectrum of their background, this rich, diverse heritage, and develop a really strong sense of self. That's a deep, ongoing conversation in these families.
A really important one.
Okay, so I have one question. I'm obviously a black woman and I'm married to a white man. Uh, does anyone else have this experience? If so, comment below, share this because I feel like I can't be the only one experiencing this. But when I go out with my husband, it's like a vibe, a weird vibe that I get from people like, back in the old times, like Western times, where someone's walking through the bar and it's like everybody turns and looks at the door like who's stepping in? Well, I get that same vibe when me and my husband are walking into a restaurant. So please, is anyone else experiencing this or is it just me? I know we're not back in the days where, but I know people are still prejudiced. So please comment below.
Are you absolutely kidding me? GOP governor, Republican governor of Indiana, is trying to walk back interracial marriage. Oh, wow. What year is this? I'm Sergeant Rob, United States Marine Corps infantry veteran, 5 years. Look, they're going after same-sex marriage. Now they're going after interracial marriage. Soon, they won't have anyone that falls into those two categories around anymore. That's where we're going. That's what we're going back to. We're going pre-antebellum stage here. We are going such in the wrong direction that there will not be a recognizable America in which we know it as America any longer. And that's my opinion. This is information that's being shoved in our face because they're not hiding their goals and their wants anymore. They're coming after every individual American and their rights. And again, it's just what I've been seeing. It's what is happening. It is what they're telling us they want to do. It is not misinformation. It is the truth. Because the fact that they're going on social media, posting these things, championing these things to take away the rights of love from our citizens is ridiculous. It's infuriating. Everyone should be up in arms about this because it doesn't matter what gender, ethnicity, or color you are. Love should not be dictated by the government. And maybe we should just abolish marriage altogether if they're to treat it like a weapon against their citizens. Because outside of a tax break, what do you get from it? A piece of paper. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day because you can still love who you love and be in love with those that you love.
I want to talk for a minute about interracial marriage. I first met my husband in 1995 at a small Christian school we attended. He's black and I'm white, and a lot of people had some problems with that. This was 30 years ago, and back then we would face things like people slamming doors on our faces or people coming up to us and calling us disgusting. We were just two teenage kids who met and fell in love. We didn't give a crap about each other's skin color, and we didn't get why any of this was such a big deal to begin with. We really had no idea that it was only 20 years prior that interracial marriage was made legal via the Loving decision. But we were never trying to make any political statement in being together. We just loved each other. After high school, we broke up and went our separate ways for a while, only to reconnect as adults and get back together. Now we're married with a big, beautiful, blended family. You would think, it being 30 years down the line, that we would have some progress from where we started in 1995. But that is not the case. There's rumblings now about the possibility of gay marriage being revisited. Many assume if they are somehow successfully able to get rid of gay marriage, that interracial marriage is next on the chopping block. There are people out there who call us alarmists for believing that any of this could remotely happen. But I've read Project 2025, and I know this is the exact goal. I loudly support anybody's right to marry. My interracial marriage has no effect on yours, neither does gay marriage. My marriage is beautiful. My family is the most important thing to me. To hear people throwing around my family as if we're just a political talking point, something that can be erased or go away, that angers me to no end. It's not just annoying that 30 years later we're going backwards at such a frantic pace. It's alarming. And if there's anyone out there who thinks they'll take my family or my marriage away from me, they've got another thing coming.
To all of you ladies under my comment section telling me that, oh yes, you are married to a grandpa, your husband is grandpa. My sister, if I don't marry to a grandpa, who do you want me to get married to? To that your arrogant brother? Or to that your poor brother? Or to that your abusive brother? Is that what you want me to get married to? My dear sister, as you can see my skin, I don't have any energy to be dragging another woman's husband. Because that's basically what you guys do. You prefer to go and drag another man's husband. I prefer to get married to a grandpa instead. I don't have any energy to drag any woman's husband. I want my husband to be my husband. Even though he's ugly, even though he's old, even though he's on a wheelchair, but it's my husband. Because a lot of you, this is what you do. Instead of you to go and look for your own husband, you will be dragging another woman's husband. Both the one that is already in grave, you will still be dragging them until you collect that husband to make that husband be yours. You forgot that you are causing harm to another woman. You forgot that you are making another woman cry in their house. You forgot that this man is abandoning his children because you are so desperate to be chasing another woman's husband because you know that you are a loser. Yes, you are a loser. Because if you will not be a loser, you will not be dragging another woman's husband. We don't have energy. We don't have strength to be dragging another woman's husband. Okay? We don't drag another woman's husband. We have our own husband. Our own old husband. So go and look for yours. Before you start coming under my comment section. Your time is running, sister. Your time is running. And for you, brother, you know that at least for men, it's good. That's why I got married to an old one. But you better go and advise your sister to go and get married before she will enter menopause. Sister, go and look for your husband. And let us enjoy our grandpa in peace.
And one last thing the research points to is what some call double consciousness.
Okay, what's that?
It's not just about code switching, like we might do at work. It's this deeper feeling of needing to kind of adjust your behavior, your communication style, even how you present yourself when you move between different family or community settings. What's totally normal or understood in one cultural space might be completely misunderstood, maybe even judged in another. So one partner might feel pressure to kind of downplay parts of their own culture to fit in with their partner's family, or the other way around.
That sounds potentially exhausting.
It can lead to this sense of sort of internal fragmentation or feeling like you always have to be slightly on guard.
Yeah, those are definitely not small things to navigate in a relationship. These aren't minor bumps. They hit fundamental parts of identity, belonging, how the world sees you, often playing out right in your most intimate circles.
No, they're significant.
It must take incredible strength, really open communication to work through that kind of consistent external pressure on top of, all the usual stuff every couple deals with.
It really does. But what's fascinating here, and maybe a bit paradoxical, is that these very challenges, they can actually become a source of profound strength for the relationship.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, many couples say that navigating these external things, the family stuff, the microaggressions, it forces them to have these incredibly honest, really deep conversations about their core values, their racial identities, what they truly stand for as a team.
Right. You have to talk about it.
You have to. And this process, confronting and working through bias together, it often builds amazing communication skills and this really deep resilience within the partnership. In a way, each unique relationship, just by existing and thriving, is pushing society's understanding of love and family and acceptance just that little bit further, making it more expansive for everyone.
That's such a vital way to frame it, because for every challenge, for every awkward moment or misunderstanding, there are just countless joys, right?
Yeah.
Layers of depth, incredible enrichment that come from these marriages.
Absolutely.
It's not just about overcoming difficulties. It's about the really profound beauty that happens when cultures and individuals genuinely blend and create something new.
Precisely. And one of the most vibrant and tangible benefits is that incredible cultural exchange that happens.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
Exactly. Food, language, music, art, traditions. They don't just sit side by side. They become shared treasures. They get woven into the fabric of daily life, often creating totally new family traditions.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a family celebrating Diwali with all the sweets and lights, and then a few weeks later gathering for Thanksgiving with this amazing blended menu. Maybe some traditional dishes, maybe some new ones they've created together, a shared gratitude ritual.
That sounds wonderful.
Or a home where kids grow up just naturally switching between, say, Spanish and English. or where Lunar New Year decorations are up right alongside Christmas lights. These couples are actively creating this richer, more diverse experience for themselves and their kids.
Building their own unique culture.
Totally. And this constant back and forth, this dynamic exchange, it's not just about holidays or food. It naturally builds immense resilience within the relationship itself.
How do you mean?
Well, couples who learn how to navigate those outside pressures, those differing cultural expectations, they often develop really exceptional communication skills and a deep, kind of unshakable trust in each other.
Because they have to rely on each other more.
Yeah, exactly. They get incredibly good at understanding and voicing their needs and really supporting each other through any external judgments. It strengthens their bond in ways maybe other couples don't experience quite as intensely. It's like a crucible that forges these stronger, more empathetic partnerships.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then there's something that's often overlooked, but it's so important.
Why is it these women marry like in interracial marriages, these women marry like black, or they marry like Middle Eastern, they marry like Pakistani or Indian, but they don't like the people, they don't accept the people, they just want the men. And this happened like so many times. I'm such an observer. I always observe people and I understand them immediately. They don't need to tell me anything. So I see these women, they're married to Middle Eastern and Pakistani Indian men, and then they don't accept their family or relative or a culture, or just I don't know what's the word. They don't want to accept everything. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to, interact with the people or anything like that. I just could never understand that. And I know these two women that I know them very well, and the community, they're both married to black men. One of them, they have children and the other one doesn't, but they just don't like black women. And I'm like, I don't understand. How do you marry? And I was married in an interracial marriage. I still have friends from that race. I still enjoy the language, the food, the culture, I will never ever stop loving that, because that's the first thing I loved, and then I married the guy. So I really don't understand, how do you marry someone from a different culture and not accept their people, their race, their language, their culture. One time I was at the mosque and this lady came with her children. She wanted her kids to learn the religion, and she had a question, and she was asking this lady that she couldn't speak English. So I got involved and I was trying to help her out, and she immediately backed up and she was like, I didn't want to talk. And I just wanted to tell her, to be honest, how it works in interracial marriages. When you have children with that man, you have to show involvement, then the kids follow up. You can't just drop your kids at the mosque and expect them to learn something. So I never understand. Can someone explain why these women marry men from different race but don't accept their, culture, language, religion, any of that? They don't want to have anything to do with that.
Okay, before I get into this, son, I'm speaking from the perspective as a white man in an interracial marriage. And this is for other white people, so y'all aren't fucking surprised when this happens. When, not if, when they come for interracial marriage, I'm telling you, there's going to be a whole lot of fucking white people that walk away from their partners and from their kids. There's going to be some of you white people right now that are like, oh my God, no way, that would never happen. You're just fear-mongering, or you're just this and that. No, listen. I've made a video about interracial marriage before, and the amount of comments that I've gotten from people about their white partners who are completely not in touch with politics or not political are a lot. You will see white partners in these marriages choose white supremacy over their own partners and children. I promise you. Because mind you, these white people have partners and children that look like the people that are being snatched by ICE. They're watching Trump on down talk about their partners being DEI hires at work. Doesn't move them. They don't give a fuck. These same partners, white partners, tokenize their spouse at every turn. So I can't be racist. I have a black, indigenous spouse of color. Y'all see it on here all the time. But when the pressure hits and it's building, white people fucking fold to white supremacy all the goddamn time. That's what's happening right now on a national scale. And we're seeing it. We got concentration camps in America. We got the National Guard in LA and DC. We got ICE snatching up kids, families, deporting them. Doesn't matter if they're fucking citizens or not. And white people aren't moved to do shit. So you think when they come down and they try to attack interracial marriage, it's going to move white people? Absolutely the fuck not. JD Vance, I wouldn't be surprised if he set the standard and said, I'm leaving my wife for X, Y, and Z reason. He'll make some bullshit up. And other white Americans will be like, oh yeah, he did it? All right, yep, then it's safe for me to walk away. When you as a white person can be in an interracial marriage and you see the way the entire country is treating people that look just like your children or your partner, and you just say, I'm not political, or we don't talk about that in my house, you're fucking going to, when the government comes for your shit, well, you're probably not, because you're going to be too scared to say anything or do anything, because you're just going to be scared of violence from other white people for being in an interracial marriage. White people as a whole value white supremacy more than anything in their fucking life. 3 out of 5 white men voted for Trump. 1 out of 2 white women voted for Trump. And everything that's happening right now is what they want.
I just got the news that my ex got a girl from the background that he always wanted to, and for the first 11 years of our marriage, he always made me feel like he could have done so much better. Like he could have done the next up, if you know what I mean. Like the next up is the next, like the better kind of like woman. And why did he end up with an Afghani girl? Like, I mean, by the way, I was just a marriage of convenience for him. I didn't know that at the time. I found out later on throughout the marriage. Yeah, so I found out today that he's got a girl from like the type of people that he really wanted it from the beginning, but he just happened with me, and he was just making me feel like that for the first 11 years all the time. And I used to tell him, like, you can go get it and see how is that gonna work. And I really hope this girl make him a plate of food, because that's what I did for 14 years. I cooked for him every other day his own traditional food, just so he can accept me. I wish I knew better at that time, but yeah, that's the news. And this is how people are. This is that. Don't ever go down. Don't ever lower your standard for a man, because he'll never appreciate you. He will never ever appreciate you with all the things you do for him, because they want the type of woman that they want. Like he wants. He's not gonna accept you because you're doing all these cooking and cleaning and raising the kids, doing all the 99% of the work in the house. They do not appreciate that.
Representation.
Yeah. Seeing it makes it normal.
Precisely. Interracial marriages send this incredibly powerful, positive message, especially to younger generations. They normalize love across boundaries. They show that affection, connection, family aren't limited by race or ethnicity.
Right.
When kids see diverse families in their classrooms, on TV, in politics, or just, living their lives down the street, it helps chip away at prejudice. It normalizes what used to be seen as taboo.
So that visibility really matters.
It's vital. That visual and social representation is crucial for fostering a truly inclusive society. It shows what's possible.
So wrapping this thread up, what does all this mean for the bigger picture, beyond the individual couples?
Well, it means these marriages aren't just about two people building a life.
Yeah.
They are actively, and I think beautifully, redefining what family looks like in our societies.
Yeah.
They really embody the promise of a more inclusive, more vibrant, more understanding future. A future where, hopefully, love genuinely leads the way, creating a richer world for all of us.
Okay, so as we bring this deep dive to a close, it feels pretty clear that the story of interracial marriage today is, well, it's one of incredible progress, right? Growing acceptance, expanding diversity.
Definitely.
And this really beautiful, enriching blend of cultures that happens when people from different backgrounds build a life together.
But it's also, I think, a powerful reminder that even though we've come so far, the journey isn't quite over yet.
Right.
That lingering prejudice, that misunderstanding, it's still out there. Sometimes subtly, sometimes more obviously. It just highlights that love, especially when it bumps up against old social norms. It really requires that extra layer of resilience, an unwavering commitment to understanding each other, and maybe a willingness to gently educate those around you just by, living your truth.
Yeah.
And if you look at it through that broader historical lens, profound social change, it rarely happens overnight, does it? It unfolds step by step.
True.
The huge courage of couples like Richard and Mildred Loving, the ones who came before, they really did pave the way for the diverse families we see today.
Absolutely.
And in the same way, the quiet, everyday resilience of current interracial couples is continuing to shape a more inclusive, more accepting tomorrow for the next generations. They are really everyday pioneers.
That's a great way to put it. Everyday pioneers. So a final thought for you, our listener. What stands out to you from today's deep dive? Perhaps it makes you look at the families in your own community with fresh eyes. Or maybe consider how your own ideas about love and family have evolved. Something to think about. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Hi guys, today I come up with a question for our white men dating African ladies or foreign ladies from other continents. There's one thing I observe, and I have a question to you guys. Why is it if you go and marry in another continent, make it be Africa or Asia or South America, and you bring that lady to Germany, our country Germany, or to any other European country, likely your mother like to control your wife. Like, this is something I observe it, and I have seen it not once, not two, not three times, that when a white man, a German man, bring a wife to Germany, a foreign wife, the mother thinks she must control that woman. Control her in aspect of spending money, control her in aspect of the children, control her in aspect of how to go out, who to make friends, who is going to sleep in the house or not. Like, total control. Like, this woman don't know what she's doing, or she's still a child by herself. And why can you men that bring that woman all alone from another continent to your country not stand up for your wife and tell your mother that it is enough? You don't know that you are frustrating your wife here, and when she later pack the children and run away from you, you will now say, this lady used me to come to Europe. But you are the one flying to her home country, into her comfort zone, asking her parents to get married to her, promise the parents to take good care of her, bring her now to Europe where she don't know anybody, and now you allow all these things to happen without standing up for her or protecting her. Like, I want to know, why is it like that? Because it is likely happening that the family of the man like to dominate the foreign wife, and it is very, very bad. It is very, very bad, because these wives, they will get frustrated, they will get depressed, because they don't have freedom to speak, they don't have freedom to act, they don't have freedom to do what they feel like to do for themselves, to feel comfortable, and to leave your home country, all in the name of, I'm getting married to somebody I love. You now go to a foreign continent and you don't know anybody, and then somebody want to control your freedom. It is very, very hard. Like, guys, if you go and marry a foreign wife, make her comfortable and protect her from your family. If your family is maltreating her or trying to control her to the extent that the woman self think maybe she's a child, because that lady is not a child. She was raised up by her own parents, and she is a matured enough to take decisions or to train her children by herself and don't need all this control. Allow her to have freedom, and if she needs help, she can ask for help, but don't force help on her, because most of them, they are very friendly and they are afraid that if they reject it, they will see them as bad wives, which is not like that, but they will feel uncomfortable, and some of them are really getting depressed. And it is your work as a husband to protect your wife. Like, guys, how are you guys seeing this? Is it only me that see this, or is it something you people are seeing too? Because I'm wondering, and most of the time we are always talking about foreign men with white women, but this is one aspect I observe, that our black sisters that are getting married to our white brothers, that they are passing through like a lot of control, a lot of stress from the man's family, and the man will just be like Mugu, not say anything. Like he will give the family the hand to maltreat and control the wife anyhow they like. Like, guys, how are you guys thinking about this? And am I the only one seeing this, or are you guys seeing the same thing too? Please, guys, share the video and let me hear about your own opinion. And if you are a white man that is married to a foreign lady, please drop your comment whether you allow your family to maltreat your wife or control her, or are you standing for your wife? And if you know I'm talking to you, change your character, change your behavior.
Okay, so what I'm about to say is extremely controversial. It's my truth. It's what I feel. My husband supports me. And I have to be honest, and I owe my followers the truth.
Some things really do need to be shared and talked about.
Yeah. And we like to foster discussion and honesty. We have built our relationship on honesty.
Yeah.
And
you can't confront that which you won't admit.
Exactly.
You know, so sometimes you have to admit the truth, even if it's difficult and hard.
Yeah. So I've come on here today to talk about something that's like been really, really bothering me. 10 years ago, when I got married to my husband, I had all kinds of expectations. There were just things that I looked forward to, and I have to admit I've been let down. And I just wanted to share that growing up in New York, some of the things that we would always hear about white people is that they loved brownies and green.
Continue on in your truth, babe. Don't let anything stop you.
Growing up in New York, I was always told that white people loved brownies and green bean casserole. And so when I got married to my husband, I thought that I was going to have all of this green bean casserole. And I'm really disappointed in the fact that I've been married 10 years and I haven't had I can't even say it. I can't even get it out.
My family has never made green bean casserole.
I haven't had it one time.
I've never had it one time.
What kind of white family are y'all?
Well,
what kind of white family are y'all? Y'all, they have not one Christmas, not one Thanksgiving, not one Easter Sunday dinner.
I'm so sorry for the disappointment.
Not one birthday. Now we have brownies galore. Brownies are always there. Brownies every time. Brownies. But we never have green bean casserole. And I feel like I have been hoodwinked and bamboozled.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
How could y'all?
I'm sorry.
So since I posted the last video, a few of you have asked me to do a part 2 of how I met my husband, who is now deceased. So yes, here it goes. So I want to say like a week later, I was working overtime on day shift. And this particular day, I was working with the Towson, Maryland crew, where we had to go to the jail, the Baltimore County Correctional Facility, to pick up several prisoners who had court that morning. And so Me, myself, and another officer, we went to the jail to retrieve the prisoners. And while we were in the Sally port, putting out firearms in the lockbox, because you can't take, firearms inside the jail, a voice came over the intercom and was like, "Is that my favorite sergeant? Oh my goodness, you just made my day." So I said, "Well, who's that?" And he was like, "Guess." I was like, "I can't guess because I don't recognize the voice." So he was like, "But you about to find out." So I was like, "Oh, is that so?" So, me and the other officer, we just giggled. But then the door opened, we went inside, and once we're inside the reception area, here comes the voice over the intercom. And of course, it's the white guy from the last video who was flirting with me. And so I have to admit, even though I wasn't really showing him that I was interested, I low-key was flattered. I was flattered because he was just relentless, and I thought it was cute. It almost made me feel like I was in school, grade school, middle school, high school. It just felt cute, but I didn't show it. I maintained my professionalism, and I kind of giggled, but still just not giving him no type of movement. So we go in. He and two other correctional officers, a total of 3, including us, it was 5 of us. We went in the back where the holding cells were to get the prisoners who had to go to court that morning. So, it was really nice how they all assisted us. We was patting them down. They was lining them up. And we was chaining them up with the handcuffs and the waist chain just to make sure that, everybody was secured. We grabbed the packets for all the prisoners, and we was heading out of the jail. And while exiting the jail, this guy, the white correctional officer, was like, "I can't wait to see you soon. I hope I see you soon." And I was like, "Oh, really?" He was like, "Yes." He was like, "Because I ain't even gonna lie, I was so mad when they drafted me this morning, but when I saw you come out that paddy wagon," he was like, "I was smiling from ear to ear." So I was like, "Wait, what?" So in my mind, I'm like, this dude really, he's really feeling me. Because that was a lot to reveal, that I'm the reason why your day now is going good. You're happy because you was able to see me. But anyway, so we put the prisoners in the paddy wagon, and while on our way back to the courthouse in Towson, the officer that I was with was like, "Homeboy really was feeling you." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not here for all of that." And he was like, yeah, Smitty, we already know you don't date nobody you work with. You keep it professional. But I guess he gonna have to learn. I was like, yeah, cause I'm not here for all that. But yeah, let me know if y'all want a part 3. Cause I'm gonna tell you, this it's a lot. It's a lot to how he and I actually came together. Cause literally I was playing hard to get.